What if I told you there's a 1-cent coin in your drawer that could be worth almost $1 million? Yes, you heard that right. 1 penny. 2006, Denver Mint. Lincoln on the front, just like any other. But one tiny detail makes it rarer than gold. Before you roll your eyes and toss that old change cup aside, ask yourself this: what if you already have it? What if you're about to give away $952,000 to a vending machine? Because this isn't just a coin. This is a ticket to freedom if you know what to look for. Let's rewind to 2006. The US Mint produced hundreds of millions of Lincoln pennies. Most were ordinary. But a microscopic minting error at the Denver facility created something extraordinary, the kind of error you'd never notice unless you knew exactly what to look for. A double die. A ghostly shadowing in the lettering. A misplaced mint mark. Some even show an odd metal composition, unexpected traces of copper where there shouldn't be any. And now, here's where it gets wild. These mistakes weren't caught. They went into circulation. Into pockets. Into jars. Into your home, and today, these anomalies have become modern treasures. One sold for over $400,000. Another fetched $600,000. The highest recorded offer to date? $952,000. A single penny. Worth more than a luxury home. Let that sink in. So yeah, next time someone tells you a penny for your thoughts, maybe ask for a second opinion. Especially if your thoughts are worth nearly $1 million. Now, imagine what you could do with that kind of money. No more debt. No more second-guessing groceries at checkout. No more skipping vacations because the budget's tight. You want freedom? This coin could be your shot. But here's where fear creeps in. Because while some people are cashing in, others are giving away these rare coins without even knowing it. They're in tip jars. Piggy banks. Coin rolls taken to the bank for a quick deposit, and once it's gone, it's gone. You could be walking away from generational wealth and not even realize it. The most tragic part? It happens every single day. We've interviewed collectors who found these coins by accident. One man was about to use it in a laundromat until his son noticed something strange on the D mint mark. That coin? Valued at over $600,000. The difference between ordinary and millionaire was one moment of awareness, and now, you're probably wondering, how do I spot the 2006 D penny that's worth nearly $1 million? Don't worry. I'm about to show you exactly what to look for. First, grab a magnifying glass or use your phone zoom. Look closely at the D mint mark. Is it doubled? Misaligned? Does it appear slightly off-center? Next, check for doubling in the words Liberty or In God We Trust. Doubling means a slight overlapping or shadow, like the letters have a ghost image. And now flip it. On the reverse, examine the Lincoln Memorial. Are the lines crisp? Or do some parts look blurred, worn incorrectly, or abnormally struck? And finally, test the weight. Most 2006 pennies should weigh 2.5 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, it could be a transitional error, a rare composition mistake that can skyrocket its value. But here's the catch. Not all jewelers or dealers know how to identify these traits. You need a certified coin grading expert. Do not sell it on impulse. Do not let it go for $50, because if your coin is the one, it could fund your dreams for the rest of your life. And hey, if you're the kind of person who just dumps coins in a jar, maybe it's time you started treating your spare change like a lottery ticket, because that's exactly what it is. So now, you know. The 2006 D Lincoln penny might just be the most powerful 1-cent piece in your entire home. The next step is simple. Check your jars. Your drawers. Your pockets. Your parents' old collections. But what if I told you, this isn't the only penny worth a fortune? In the next video, I'll reveal another ordinary-looking coin that recently sold for over $1.2 million, and it might be sitting right under your nose. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it. Your $1 million penny is out there. Go find it. Let me know if you'd like this script tailored to match a voiceover pacing guide, include B-roll suggestions, or add subtitles/captions formatting. What if I told you that a simple penny, yes, a 1-cent coin, could be your ticket to $1 million lifestyle? That one of the most ordinary coins in your pocket right now might actually be worth more than your car or even your house? Sounds unbelievable? Stick around. Because one man almost threw away a penny from 2020 until he realized it was worth $952,000. But this isn't a fairy tale. This is real, and if you've ever handled a 2020 Lincoln Cent with a Denver mint mark, you might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Quick question: when was the last time you actually looked at your change? If you're like most people, you haven't seen a penny up close since Netflix still mailed DVDs, but here's why you need to know. In 2020, while most people were focused on toilet paper and lockdowns, something rare slipped quietly into circulation. A batch of Lincoln pennies, struck in Denver, was minted with a tiny but critical error. An error so rare, collectors have called it the needle in the haystack coin. That error? A doubled die reverse. In simple terms, it means the coin was struck incorrectly, leaving a visible doubling in parts of the design, especially the lettering around United States of America and 1 cent. This minting mistake turned a 1 cent coin into a collector's white whale, and only a handful have been confirmed. One sold for $952,000 in a private auction, but what exactly makes it worth that much? And how do you know if you have one? We'll get there, but first, let me tell you about Jim. Jim's a retired truck driver from Ohio. One morning, he noticed a shiny penny sitting on his garage workbench, almost tossed it. Almost, but something felt different. The coin had an unusual shine and a subtle doubling on the back. He Googled 2020 Lincoln penny with doubling. A few clicks later, he realized he might be holding a rare doubled die coin. He sent it in for grading. 3 weeks later, the verdict came in MS67 red. Near perfect condition, and then came the real shocker. The estimated value, over $800,000, but he sold it privately for just under $950,000. But that one moment changed his life. Now he owns lakefront property and a classic Corvette he dreamed about in his 20s. So here's the question: because pennies are everywhere, and most people never stop to look. Let's be honest, if you're like most people, your penny jar is a retirement plan for your vacuum cleaner. But if you knew 1 penny could be worth nearly $1 million, would you still ignore it? Didn't think so. Let's break down what to look for before you throw away a fortune. Here's the checklist. 2020. Look just under the date. It should have a small d for Denver. The redder and shinier, the better. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can confirm its state. Flip the coin. Look closely at the words United States of America and 1 cent. Do you see any doubling? Especially on the letter edges. If yes, do not clean it. Do not touch it with bare hands. Store it in a plastic flip or capsule and get it graded. Now, you might be wondering, how rare are these? Only a few confirmed examples have been found in the wild. Experts estimate fewer than 50 exist in mint state condition. That scarcity is what drives the price sky high, and here's where urgency comes in. Every day, more of these coins are discovered, or damaged beyond recovery, and every new discovery lowers the exclusivity and the potential value of yours. The clock is ticking. This penny could be your wake-up call, your bridge from paycheck to financial freedom. Your chance to give your kids a better future, or finally take that bucket list trip to Tuscany. It's not just about money. It's about legacy, but only if you act. Start checking your coins. Look at that change jar. Go through the drawer you haven't opened in years. You might already be a millionaire and not even know it. Still think pennies are worthless? So did Jim. Until he's bought him a house with a view. So, what are you going to do now? Like this video if you found even one useful insight, subscribe if you're serious about turning old change into real wealth, and share this with someone who still thinks a penny's just a penny, because next time, the millionaire might be you. Let me know if you'd like me to pair this script with visuals, background music cues, or voiceover direction. Let me ask you something. Have you ever dropped a penny and thought, it's just a cent? Well, what if I told you one of those pennies could be worth over $950,000? Yes, you heard that right. A 2014 Lincoln penny with no mint mark just changed someone's life. And it could change yours too. But hold on, before you rush to check your piggy bank, you need to know exactly what to look for, because not all 2014 pennies are created equal. Some are just copper-coated zinc, others, they're lottery tickets hiding in plain sight. Stick with me for the next few minutes, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to identify the $1 million penny that most Americans overlook every single day. This isn't just about coins. It's about freedom. It's about opportunity, and for some, it's about finally living the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Also, if you've ever used a penny to scratch off a lottery ticket, today's the day the penny might scratch you back with cash. Let's dive in. In 2014, the U.S. Mint released over 8 billion Lincoln pennies. Most of them were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. but here's the twist: some coins, especially those with no mint mark, weren't just your everyday penny. One particular specimen, found in circulation, was later graded as a rare die variety with extraordinary doubling on the obverse, making it an ultra-rare error coin. That exact coin sold at auction $4,952,000. To let that sink in. So what makes this coin so valuable? Specifically a no visible mint mark on the front, which indicates Philadelphia, a unique doubling around Lincoln's I and "In God We Trust," and preserved in near-perfect condition, what collectors call MS-68, or better, think of it this way: finding one is like spotting a four-leaf clover on a golf course during a thunderstorm, while blindfolded. Rare? Yes, impossible? Not even close. Every week, everyday Americans are cashing in on forgotten change jars, attic finds, and drawer junk, and guess what? Many have no idea they're sitting on life-changing coins. You could be too. In just a moment, I'll tell you the exact steps to identify, authenticate, and sell one of these valuable pennies. But first, let me show you the real fear most people never think about. The real fear isn't losing the coin, it's never knowing you had it. Imagine this: you toss a penny in a donation jar. A week later, it's sitting in an auction house being sold for nearly $1 million, and you're at home, still wondering how to pay the rent. That's the reality for more people than you think, but not for you, not anymore. Here's what to do right now. Step 1: go through your coins, especially your 2014 pennies. Look for those with no mint mark under the date. Step 2: use a jeweler's loupe or magnifier to spot doubling on Lincoln's face and lettering. Step 3: if you see any unusual features, don't clean the coin, take it to a professional grader like PCGS or NGC for evaluation. And step 4: if it's rare, don't sell it at a pawn shop, list it through a reputable coin auction where serious collectors bid high. Now I know what you might be thinking: why would anyone pay that much for a penny? Because collectors aren't just buying metal. They're buying history, rarity, and prestige. They're investing in tangible assets, something that actually holds value. Even in economic chaos, you want wealth? Start by checking the coins you already own. You might already have the key to your next chapter. And hey, next time someone tells you to keep the change, smile. You just might be walking away with a six-figure secret. And if you think that's wild, wait until you hear about the penny that sold for $1.7 million, but that's a story for our next video. Make sure you're subscribed to turn on notifications, because your financial freedom could start with the sound of a coin dropping. And remember, sometimes the smallest things in life are worth the most. Would you like a matching voiceover style guide or video description to go with this? What if I told you that a single penny, sitting quietly in your kitchen drawer, could be worth nearly $1 million? Yes, 1 cent. No mint mark, and yet, collectors are offering as much as $952,000 for it. Sounds impossible? Well, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might be reaching for your coin jar, heart pounding, wondering if your lucky penny has been hiding in plain sight. But before we get there, let me take you on a journey of mystery, of overlooked treasure, and of how ordinary people just like you are turning forgotten coins into generational wealth. In 2016, the U.S. Mint produced billions of Lincoln pennies. Most were tossed into cash registers, dropped in couch cushions, or forgotten in glove compartments, but one stood out. Point 1: without a mint mark. Now, here's what makes this interesting. Normally, a 2016 penny struck in Philadelphia should have no mint mark. Nothing out of the ordinary, right? But here's the twist: this specific 2016 no mint mark penny, it has a rare flaw, a subtle anomaly invisible to the untrained eye. That anomaly made it ultra valuable to collectors, and one of them paid nearly $1 million for it. Crazy, right? Now you might be wondering, what exactly made this coin special? Hang tight. We're just getting to the good part. Here's where things get juicy. The 2016 Lincoln penny in question had a unique strike error. Imagine the coin being misaligned ever so slightly during production. That imperfection, instead of being a defect, turned it into a golden goose. Combine that with its pristine condition, graded MS-67 or higher, and what do you get? A perfect storm of rarity, demand, and explosive value. Because coin collecting is not just a hobby. It's a billion-dollar global industry, and serious collectors will stop at nothing to acquire pieces that check all the right boxes. So here's a question: when was the last time you really looked at your spare change? Go ahead. We'll wait. Okay, not really, but seriously, how many 2016 pennies have you passed up without a second thought? Probably hundreds. Maybe thousands, but here's the fear factor. What if you already had the $1 million penny, and spent it on gas, or worse, left it in a vending machine? Let that sink in, and now the real urgency kicks in, because as awareness spreads, more people are checking their coins, and every time one gets found, that's one less in circulation, meaning the remaining ones only go up in value. Still think it's just a penny? Now, here's what you need to do as step 1. Check every 2016 penny you have. Look for an O mint mark, then examine it closely. Wear gloves, use a magnifying glass, and if possible, Compare it to a standard version, look for signs of misalignment or double die errors. Step 2. If you think you've got something special, don't go running to your local pawn shop, get it professionally graded. Organizations like PCGS or NGC can give your coin a certified value, trusted by serious collectors worldwide. And step 3, list it for sale strategically. Auction houses, rare coin marketplaces, and even private collectors might offer you a life-changing sum. Wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street, sometimes it comes from the bottom of a piggy bank. Now, before we wrap this up, what if I told you there's an even rarer penny out there, one that looks almost identical to the 2016 version, but worth even more? We'll reveal that in the next episode. So if you're serious about uncovering hidden fortune in your own home, subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay tuned. Your financial breakthrough might be one penny away. Would you like a version with timestamps or formatted for a teleprompter-style video editing script? Imagine holding a single penny, a simple, copper coin, that could buy you $1 million home. Sounds impossible? Let me tell you something most people don't know. Back in 1960, the U.S. Mint in Denver struck a version of the Lincoln 1-cent coin that has become one of the most sought-after rarities in American numismatic history. Today, collectors are offering up to $952,000 for the right coin. Yes, you heard that right. A penny. Worth nearly $1 million. Now, before you go diving into your coin jar, take a deep breath. Because not just any 1960 penny will make you rich, but how do you know if the one you have is the jackpot? That's the story we're about to uncover, and trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at loose change the same way again. The year is 1960. Elvis is topping the charts. America is on the edge of the space race. And in Denver, something extraordinary happens at the Mint. A small number of Lincoln cents were struck with what collectors call a small date design. These small date coins had numerals that were slimmer and closer together, particularly the 0 in 1960. But here's where things get thrilling. Some of these coins also showed signs of doubling. Now I know what you might be thinking. Doubling? Like a buy one get one free deal? Well, sort of. But in this case, it's a misprint, a rare mint error where the date appears to be stamped twice, ever so slightly shifted. It's a fluke. A beautiful, tiny accident of history, and here's why that matters, because coin collectors, especially those with very deep pockets, love errors. To them, an unintentional misprint isn't a flaw. It's art. It's history. It's a key to the past. And they're willing to pay insane amounts of money to own a piece of that. But wait. There's more. Only a handful of these double die 1960 small date pennies are known to exist in mint state condition. That means most of them are long lost, tucked away in drawers, hidden in jars, or resting quietly in your grandfather's old coin collection. And here's the twist point: one of these exact coins recently sold at auction for $952,000. Let that sink in. A 1-cent coin. Worth more than the average American home. Still think checking your change is a waste of time? Now you might be feeling a mix of emotions. Curiosity. Excitement. Maybe even a little panic. What if I already had one and spent it? What if it's sitting in my attic right now? Exactly. That's why timing matters, because as these coins get discovered and snapped up, their rarity drops, and with it, so can their value. So how do you know if your 1960 penny is the one? Look for the small date first. The 0 in the date should be narrow and level with the top of the 6. Then look closely for signs of doubling, especially on the date and the word liberty. Don't rely on your naked eye. Get a magnifier. Better yet, have it appraised by a trusted coin grading service. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition could change your life. And here's a final thought, maybe even a warning: the most valuable coins aren't just rare. They're often right under our noses. But only those who take action, who dig deeper, who bother to look, are the ones who cash in. So what's in your collection? Is there a fortune waiting to be found? Before you scroll away and forget this ever happened, remember, someone out there just turned 1 cent into almost $1 million, and the next story could be yours. Don't just dream about a wealthy lifestyle. Go check your pennies. Your $1 million moment might be just one coin away. Would you like this script formatted for teleprompter use or turned into a storyboard for editing and visuals? Sure. Here's a clear, sophisticated, faceless YouTube script using the 3-act structure for your requested topic. It's designed for a 10-minute video, targeting 30 to 65-year-olds in the US who want to sell rare pennies and live wealthy. The tone is inspirational and authoritative, with emotional triggers, pattern interrupts, seamless transitions, and cliffhangers. Imagine holding a tiny piece of history in your hand. A coin so rare, so valuable, it could change your life overnight. What if I told you there's a penny from 1991? Yes, a penny that's worth nearly $1 million today. Not a typo. $952,000. Right here in the United States. And the catch? It's a Lincoln 1-cent coin with no mint mark. And now, before you scoff and scroll away thinking, it's just a penny, let me ask you, when was the last time you really looked at your change? That small, overlooked coin might be your ticket to the kind of wealth most people only dream about, but how does a simple penny, made for everyday transactions, turn into a fortune? And why is this 1991 penny with no mint mark suddenly priceless? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot these rare pennies, understand their unbelievable market value, and maybe, just maybe, find one in your own pocket. And if you think, I don't have time for another coin video, hang tight. We're going beyond boring history lessons. Ready to discover a hidden fortune? Let's dive in. Here's where it gets fascinating. Back in 1991, pennies were minted across the country with specific mint marks: D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and no mark for Philadelphia. But a very small batch of pennies came out without any mint mark due to a rare minting error. And now, you might be thinking, errors happen all the time, why should I care? Because this error made those pennies ultra rare, like finding a golden ticket in a sea of chocolate bars. Imagine thousands of these coins circulating without anyone realizing their worth. And here's the kicker: the US Mint never intended to make pennies without a mint mark that year. That means every penny without that mark is essentially a collector's dream, a one-of-a-kind treasure. And now, hold on a second, don't rush to check your change just yet. Not every penny without a mint mark is this valuable. It's a very specific kind of no mint mark penny, verified by experts and authenticated, that can fetch close to $1 million. Let's talk numbers. The current market value for a genuine 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny can reach an astonishing $952,000 at auction. That's enough to buy a luxury car, pay off a mortgage, or fund your dream retirement. But why would someone pay that much for a penny? The answer is scarcity and demand. Rare coins like this one are incredibly limited, and collectors compete fiercely for the few that exist. As more people realize this, the value only climbs higher. If you're wondering how to know if your penny is real, or if it's just an ordinary coin, don't worry, that's coming up. But first, let me ask you a question to reset your mind. Have you ever found money so valuable you double-check if it's real before spending it on a cup of coffee? Now, here's the crucial part. How do you know if your penny is worth hundreds of thousands, or just a few cents? First, examine your coin carefully. The no mint mark penny will have the same design as all 1991 Lincoln pennies, but with one key difference: it will lack the D or S mint mark below the date. But beware of fakes and counterfeit coins. The only way to confirm its authenticity and value is to have it professionally appraised by a certified coin expert or grading service. Imagine this scenario: you find a penny that looks like the one I described. You get it appraised and it turns out to be real. What's next? Selling it. But selling rare coins isn't like selling old junk. You need to find the right auction house or collector who understands its true worth. This is where urgency kicks in, because the market for these rare pennies is getting hotter by the day. Every day you wait, more buyers are entering the market, driving prices even higher. If you've been holding onto old pennies without knowing their value, this might be your chance to unlock a fortune. And here's a little secret to keep you motivated: many people who discovered rare pennies like this have gone on to live a wealthy lifestyle, paying off debts, traveling the world, and investing in their dreams. So don't let your forgotten pennies collect dust. Take action now: check, verify, and if you're lucky, sell. Because this opportunity won't last forever. And here's the cliffhanger you've been waiting for. What if I told you there are other pennies from different years with similar rare errors, also worth hundreds of thousands? Stay tuned for my next video where I reveal the top 5 rare pennies you need to look for right now. Until then, remember, sometimes, the biggest fortunes come in the smallest packages. Could your penny be the next millionaire? Would you like me to also draft a version with timestamps or detailed visuals cues for each segment? Have you ever held a fortune in your hands and tossed it into a jar without knowing? Because right now, there's a 1964 Lincoln penny marked with a tiny, mysterious D that's worth up to $952,000. Yes, that 1-cent coin in your junk drawer might just be the key to your dream life. But here's the real question: most people don't, and by the time they find out, it's already gone, lost, sold. Or worse, sped on gas. Stick with me for the next few minutes, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know exactly what to look for, you might be rushing to check your coin jar, and trust me, that's not an exaggeration. Let's go back. The year is 1964. The Beatles are storming America, and the US Mint is quietly producing billions of Lincoln cents, but among these billions, a few rare pennies, minted in Denver, marked with a small d beneath the date, escaped quality control of flawed. Unique. Some with double dies, others with off-metal strikes, and a handful with such sharp, rare features that collectors are offering up to nearly $1 million for them. Let that sink in. Point 1. Cent worth more than most homes, and to think, your dog probably swallowed one in 97. But why is this penny so valuable? It comes down to three things: rarity, condition, and a perfect storm of collector demand. Imagine a coin with a misprint so rare that only a few still exist. Combine that with pristine condition, called red or MS67 plus by grading experts, and you've got the holy grail of modern pennies. And here's where things get real. These coins often don't look special to the untrained eye. They're not shiny. They're not gold. They're just old pennies until you flip them. And look closer, you see the small d, check the date, the clarity, the color, and that subtle doubling on "In God We Trust." That could be the detail that separates a common coin from life-changing wealth. So now, you're probably wondering, yes, and you wouldn't be alone. Just last year, a man in Texas found one in his father's old cigar box. He walked into an appraisal with a coffee can of coins, and walked out with a certified $450,000 offer. On the spot. But here's the thing, that offer doubled within 30 days, because the market for rare coins, it's booming. Collectors, investors, hedge funds, they're all chasing these tangible assets. It's no longer a hobby. It's a movement. A wealth-building opportunity hiding in plain sight. So, what if your retirement isn't in your 401k, but in that drawer, that shoebox, that forgotten jar in your garage? Wouldn't you want to know? Here's what you do next. Pull out every 1964 penny you can find. Look for that tiny D mint mark below the date. Check for doubling or unusual shine. If anything looks even slightly off, don't clean it. Don't touch it. Get it graded, because once it's verified, the offers will come, and when they do, life changes fast. Wouldn't it be something if a simple penny helped you live the lifestyle you've always imagined? Travel more, stress less, pay off the house, or maybe never work another day in your life. It happens every year. To people who take the time to look. So ask yourself, what if today you found a fortune in your own hands? The next video will show you how to spot and sell high-value coins safely and profitably. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the details that make millionaires. This is more than coin collecting. It's wealth discovery. And it starts with 1 cent, maybe your cent. Don't let it slip away. Imagine reaching into an old coffee can in your garage and pulling out a single penny that could buy you a luxury mansion. No joke. One tiny copper coin from 1982, without a mint mark, is now worth up to $952,000. But and here's the twist, most people throw it in a jar without ever knowing what they've just done. Today, we're going to reveal the full story behind this unassuming penny, the hidden features that make it priceless, and how you could have one sitting in your house right now without even realizing it. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot the real deal, and why. The value of this rare coin is still climbing, and no, this isn't a video trying to sell you a coin course. But it might just help you sell one, for life-changing money. Gas was cheap. Phones had cords. And the US Mint made a crucial change that few people noticed except coin collectors, who would later call it one of the most important shifts in modern coinage. In 1982, the Mint transitioned Lincoln pennies from 95% copper to a cheaper zinc core with copper plating, but the real kicker? They used two different designs that year, large date and small date. To make matters even more complicated, some of these coins were struck in Philadelphia but without the usual mint mark. That's where things get really interesting, because among these changes, one rare variation slipped through the cracks. A 1982 D small date penny, struck on a copper planchet, when it should have been zinc, and here's the shocker, it wasn't even supposed to exist. That's why, in a private auction, one of these exact coins sold for $18,800. But experts now estimate that the right specimen, in mint condition, could fetch close to $952,000 in today's market. So why that much? What makes this simple penny more valuable than a Ferrari? We'll get to that in just a second, but first, grab your old penny jars. Because we need to talk about how to spot one of these miracle coins. Alright, here's what to look for. Of the year, it must say 1982. Just above the date, if there's no letter at all, keep it to the weight, use a digital scale. A copper penny weighs 3.11 grams, while the newer zinc ones are only 2.5 grams. Look closely. The small date version has a delicate 2 and a higher 8. The curve is subtle but crucial now. Before you run to your local pawn shop, wait, because condition matters. Collectors pay top dollar only for uncirculated or nearly pristine coins. That means no scratches, no discoloration, and sharp details. And here's the twist most people miss: there are fakes out there. So if you suspect you've got the real thing, get it graded by a professional like PCGS or NGC. A certified coin holds 10 to 100 times more value on the open market. Think of it like this: would you buy a Ferrari from Craigslist, or from a certified showroom? Exactly, this is more than just a coin, it's a symbol of overlooked fortune. A penny most people dismiss, hiding six-figure value. Now ask yourself, how many pennies have passed through your hands? How many were dropped in vending machines, given as change, or forgotten in a drawer? What if just one of those was the key to your financial freedom? The window for discovering these rare coins is closing. As more are found, demand spikes, and so does competition. Don't wait until someone else finds the treasure in your home, because sometimes 1 cent can be worth more than $1 million lesson. If you found this video eye-opening, hit the like button, subscribe for more hidden coin secrets, and comment below with your oldest penny. You never know, it might just be the one. This is your moment. Don't let your fortune sit in the shadows. Check your change and chase your wealth.